What's up, y'all? We're so back again. We've missed you. We always miss you in between episodes. Welcome to the Good Service Podcast. For those of you who are here for the first time, we thank you. However you found us, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, referrals, by the way of the web, you're looking for some good news, positive stories, you found it. That is us here at the Good Service Podcast. We are your source for good news, wholesome stories across the board around nonprofit organizations, but also service-based organizations that are doing beautiful things within your community to make it a better place. So again, we thank you for being here for the first time, for our community, our family that continues to come back to grow with us. Thank you for being here, the likes, the subscribes, the sharing, the referrals. You know how this goes. You are what drives us each and every day. Enough about us. Well, yeah, I'm your host, Joe D. We can get that out of the way. Man, am I excited today for this conversation. It's long awaited, but I'm going to dive into the intro for the one and only. So today's guest is changing the game, literally and figuratively, y'all. Please welcome Mike Newton, co-founder of Ethlete Lab Academy, an innovative gaming and tech lounge that's empowering youth with digital skills, confidence, and community. Mike has a decade of experience across the NBA ecosystem, from grassroots player development to championship level coaching in the NBA 2K League. Mike fuses his love for basketball and gaming and youth mentorship in a way that's shaping the future of esports and STEM education in the Cleveland area. Whether he's coaching elite players, back in the day, Golden State Warriors gaming squad, or launching youth partnerships through Ethlete Lab, Mike, his mission is clear: building leaders on and off the court. Let's get into it. Mike, I want to give you flowers, bro. Welcome to the show.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, man. Like you said, long overdue. But hey, what better time than now, man? So I appreciate you.
Man, we appreciate who you are. We appreciate that you're here. I haven't stopped thinking about this all week, let alone all day. So it's about to be a beautiful time, man. Beautiful time. For those of you, I want to give a little deeper insight on Ethlete Lab Academy. So for you who don't know, who aren't in the Cleveland area, again, this is not your average gaming lounge. It's a revolutionary youth tech hub that fuses esports, education, empowerment to help the next generation win in life, not just in games. ELA was created to give kids, especially from underserved communities, a safe, consistent, and inclusive space to grow in their skills in gaming, STEM, digital creativity, and personal development. At its core, ELA is on a mission to bridge the digital divide and open doors for youth through, again, EA Sports, or not EA Sports, that's what we played growing up and can still play. Esports competitions and team building, STEM-based workshops and career exploration, mentorship from coaches, entrepreneurs, and industry pros, and partnerships with schools, tech communities, tech companies, and community organizations. Again, based in Lakewood, Ohio. If you haven't been to Cleveland, get up to Cleveland. It is the reason. The Academy serves as both, again, a high-energy gaming lounge and an educational incubator for the youth to compete, connect, and create, but most importantly, learn. So, Mike, again, I'm going to just give you your flowers, brother. You're here. Like, let's dive in. Let's jump in. Let's tip off, baby. I know you know what that's about. For those of you who haven't been on the show, haven't tapped in with us, I always like to give a quick insight on how we got to know today's guest. So this goes back, I don't know, circa like 2014, 2015, back when I was in college. Mike was in college. He was hooping at Urbana. I was at the University of Dayton. Yes, roll yours. Shout out to John Minotti. Man, John Minotti. I'm pretty sure Mike was visiting. I don't know what weekend it was. I'm sure it was every weekend was the weekend.
We ain't got to talk about it. St. Patty's.
Yeah, it might have been St. Patty's Day.
Might have been St. Patty's Day.
I'm sure it was. Now that I think about it, there's got to be some. But John, shout out to you, because without you, I never would have met Mike, and we were locked in from that day forward. Shout out John, his beautiful family. Yes, got a beautiful baby boy. Just doing his thing. So John, I hope when this episode finds you, you enjoy it, you love it. It brings back those memories. loving on you and the family from the Good Service Podcast. Diving into who Mike Newton is, who ELA, the Ethlete Lab Academy is. So, Mike, you have a really dope and illustrious background. It's kind of a dream if you really think about it. You played at high school, a very strong, great high school. You played in college. You coached internationally. You coached in the NBA gaming circuit as well, which is new to me. Love just to understand like the origin story. Like, how did we get here? How did we arrive to you now, co-founding Ethlete Lab Academy?
For sure. Yeah. So again, shout out to Minotti, man, my guy since high school. So grateful for all the connections. Again, without John, I wouldn't be here, talking to all of the viewers. So appreciate you, John, and everybody that's going to tune into this. Super grateful for you guys, especially the early supporters. Whether it's 1 view or 1,000 views, we don't take that lightly. So appreciate you guys tuning in to the Good Service Podcast. Now, how we got here, it was a journey, just like I'm sure everybody else has their journey. Growing up, where I grew up at, we had a lot of guys who played basketball. So my house was kind of the house to come to. We had a setup where, people would be playing. In our garage, we had an L-shaped couch where if you weren't on, you would be playing video games. And then in the cul-de-sac, kids are riding their bikes or playing football in the street. So it was always about building community, and growing up, I had that. And as I got older, we gained some, but it was never like high level gaming. It was never, competing, on a team, or I didn't really know much about esports. It was just casual. But my love for basketball stayed. And, I eventually had to choose between basketball and baseball. I went the basketball route, and it served me well. I met a lot of good people through travel basketball. I played for King James Shooting Stars. So at the time, it was LeBron's AAU team. So we played on the EYBO circuit, which is a top Nike circuit, like super competitive. And that led me to St. Ed's, which is where I met John Minotti at. And, I played varsity as a freshman, had a great career there. We went to States my senior year, and went on to play college. I was in West Palm Beach for a year. That was amazing. I didn't even know where I was at. It's like I'm in Florida.
Yeah.
5-6 years later, they're like, it's no way you left there. And then, obviously doing the background and looking into it, I'm like, wow, I wish I would have, made more of that opportunity. But I lived in West Palm Beach for a year, and then from there, it led me to Urbana. And my move to there, I would say, was a very pivotal moment, because up until that point, I was winning my whole life. Like, I was a part of really good teams. And I would say when it came to those teams, I was a captain, I was a leader, but I was not the best player. I was always like that second to third best player. Some teams, I was just the glue guy. And at that moment, going to Urbana, it was a huge shift. They didn't have really a winning culture. We were going into a very competitive Division II league, and that year, my second year in college, man, I didn't win a game. People don't know this, but if you go look at Urbana, 2000, what year was that? 2014, 2015, maybe. One of those years, 2013, 2014, I didn't win a game. Like, I went 0-30, and that was the hardest year of my life. Yeah, but I wouldn't say the hardest year of my life, but one of the hardest years of my life. But it taught me how to be a leader without winning, if that makes sense. Like, how to keep the spirits up, how to keep showing up each day, even though the results weren't coming, to fruition. And from my sophomore to junior year, we got a new coaching staff. I stayed, but I just stayed in the gym, and it just unleashed this. I've always had like a dedication to be a competitor, win at all costs, but it was a different level of, competitive, like not just compete with myself, but how can I get the most out of, these other guys? So
Yeah.
Finished up my career there. Won a couple of games, nothing crazy. And then, during this time, again, people don't know much about this either. I think it was my junior or senior year. I shadowed a guy that goes by the name of John Stovall. He's an ESPN recruiter for high school basketball for Nike. And during that time, he was very transparent that this is an experience that is all on you financially. Like, you got to make it happen. And if you get to the places that we're at, I'll be sure you get a pass. So the only thing that was promised was you'll be able to get through the door. And,
Man.
Yeah, so I used my refund. I used my refund check, man. I drove to Columbus. I think I drove one time to St. Louis. I even flew all the way to the Nike Academy and stayed over there by Randy's Donuts out in California. Everybody knows where that's at. Yeah, no,
Bro,
a rinky-dink hotel by myself, man. Like, I mean, I just had to figure it out. But similar to the John Minotti story that we shared earlier, man, going out there, by that Randy's Donuts, I met a guy that was working in the NBA. And later on, 2 years later, that turned into my first NBA opportunity. So in between there, it's a GA at Cleveland State for a year. After that, sold cars for 6 months. And then I was able to pick up a job with the Milwaukee Bucks G League teams. My first NBA opportunity was rough. I was a knucklehead, man. I didn't really know much about how much work went into this. And I just showed up like it was an everyday job, which it was far from. The
yeah,
expectations when you're dealing with an investment of a guy that's worth, $60 million or $290 million is different than, tapping in or, logging into work for $15 an hour. It's totally different. So that was a huge learning curve, going from being a player to having to mature and be an executive. That was a good 2 years. In between there, worked NBA Summer League, and I think this is when everything shifted. Met guy with Golden State Warriors, got a job with them working as a basketball operations and player development assistant for 6 months. But then the other 6 months, he asked me to, would I coach NBA 2K? And I'm like, how do you coach that? I had no idea,
yeah,
man.
right. How do you coach people playing the video game?
So immediately, knowing me, I shut it down. It's off the table. I'm out there in Cali, Steph Curry, Clay, I'm on the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool. And he dubbed back and he just told me, he was like, hey, I really think you should look into this. You'll be in Silicon Valley. It's a lot of money in it. So I'm like, man, what the heck? Like, let's give it a go.
Mm-hmm.
And as I started to interview, like I got passed around to like 3 different individuals, and I actually like looked into it. I'm like, hey, like, why not? Like, if all else fails, I'll be out in California for another 6 months. I'll be able to enjoy myself. And guy has a funny way of working.
Doesn't he, bro?
That was the same year COVID hit.
Man, that's right.
So 2019, 2020, I was 6 months. Same year Kobe passed away. I'm in Golden State. We have a game and COVID hits. Everybody's freaking out. Everybody leaves, and I have to stay because I have another duty. I have another commitment with the 2K team. So I'm trying to figure that out, man. I'm living in a hotel at this point. They're giving us biscuits. Like, I can't get food anywhere. It was crazy. And that year, I think I talked to my players twice in person for gaming, and we went to the championship. It was my first year coaching. We went to the championship. I got some ESPN time.
Yep.
I had some interviews on there. Our championship game was on ESPN, and I'm like, man, it's something here. It's something here. I had free rent in California, so I ran it back. Ran it back that next year. I had a whole new team. I kind of, got the cancers out. I went a little bit younger. And that was the same year the Nigerian national team. So I was working with the Golden State Warriors, helping them with their draft. I was coaching the 2K League team, also while being a director of basketball operations for the Nigerian national team. So I was doing 3 things
That's so crazy, bro.
While being a dad, from afar. So it was a lot. It was a lot. And that was the year, and then we'll be able to dive a little bit more. But that year is what made me understand that gaming and tech was where I need to be. Because when I mentioned all 3, so again, like you have them in like buckets. I had the G League team, I had the Nigerian national team, and then I had my gaming team. When it was time to serve, my purpose for each, I felt most fulfilled with my gaming team. I felt most connected with my gaming team. I felt, most valued with, and it had nothing to do with finances. It was just, I spent 2 months. I spent 2 months with my gaming team. I spent the first month of the season. This was the deal with and my manager paid me all 6 months, mind you. My deal was you coach them at the beginning, that first month, get us started, and then you coach us in the playoffs. And when I came back after the Olympics, I mean, it's like we left off right where we started. I only known most of these kids for all of a month. You know what I mean? Some of the kids I
Yeah.
know for, a year or two, but yeah, just a month. So it was interesting to say the least, to be able to, in a sense, come back to them and just be welcomed with open arms. So at that point, I was just real with myself. It was an ego thing I had to throw aside, the pride, and was just like, no more like what they say, NBA Mike, of like being with the NBA players and getting the benefits. Now it's Mike with some 19-year-olds, some guys 34, coaching them over a video game. But that's what I felt most fulfilled in doing. So that led me to a championship, as you know. I was an all-star coach, the first black coach to win a 5v5 championship. And then I went with the Cavs this last year, and we had the most winningest season, made it to the Final Four. And now we're here, man. I mean, I have been working on this project for 2.5 years. We just opened March 3rd of this year. I think we're going 5 months strong, and just again grateful to be able and privileged to have the problems and the issues that I think I have. When ultimately, like, I'm just happy to be in partnership with God to be able to, provide a safe space for kids. So, yeah.
Bro, I just been over here smiling, bro. Like, I'm
Long-winded, but
smiling because, like, bro,
yeah.
what? Like, come
that's how
on,
that's how we
man.
got here, man.
Like,
Long-winded, but yeah,
it's
yeah.
been, because of social media, we've been able to stay connected over time, just from afar, seeing you do everything, just in my research, I'm going back and looking at old posts, and I'm like, bro, I remember, you're having your ESPN, and I'm like seeing all the people that we mutually know in your comments, and like, it's like, what, 2021, seeing all of it manifest, right? And like you said, to be in collaboration with God and to be obedient, to be still and to whatever told
Hard.
you in that moment to
Yeah.
listen, take that interview. You took that interview, and that led you to being, a champion right away. First black, championship coach in the 5v5 when it comes to the 2K league. Just amazing, bro. And just, you said a lot there, man.
I
And just,
know, man. I
I'm gonna
know.
dissect it. I'm gonna dissect it because,
Yeah.
bro, like, one of my favorite things that you just shared was the fact that it wasn't about the money. It wasn't about it was the connection, right, that you had to your calling, right, and to, like, being and serving. You use the word serve, and like, as you were serving each of your roles, that one, you had your buckets, right. You had the actual Warriors, you had the Nigerian national team, and then you had the game, the gaming team, and you're like, that's where it was at. And for you to walk away, like, to die of self, to let the ego just go, that's major. It's so hard, especially we're
Yes.
young. We would have been what, bro? We
Man,
would have been like
listen.
25,
Man,
26 around that time.
bro. I was probably 25, 26 when I was like, I really had to sit down. My boy was just like, what you gonna do, man? Can't play the middle field. You either gotta commit to, the NBA, or you're gonna commit to this game and stuff. And I didn't mention I got a 6-year-old. So she's 6 now, but at the time she was probably like 3 or 4. And I'm like, I can't keep doing this, back and forth. Like, I really want to be present. Like, I'm missing all these precious moments, obviously with sacrifice and understanding, the bigger picture, but it was weighing heavy on me. So it was hard letting that ego go, man. And I mean, as you know, you still battle with it in different situations and areas of life, but that was probably the hardest, being able to be known for something and that be your identity, right? Like, me being known as like, hey, like, this guy works in the NBA. That's where they start with. You know what I mean? They don't start with, hey, he's a Christian, or he's a father, or they start with, hey, he works in the NBA for this team for this long. Like, people didn't say, and at the time I wasn't a Christian, you know what I mean? But people didn't say, hey, Mike's a father, or, hey, Mike's a good, it always led off with, Mike works in the NBA for da 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 da. Or I didn't know Mike was even in Cleveland because he's usually at da 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 course, whatever the case may be. Um, Being able to be okay with, hey, this might be the last time that people reach out to you because you can't provide them with tickets. You know what I mean? This might be the last time people reach out to you because you don't hold this title anymore. Like, you're probably going to lose a lot of supporters because they only supported that identity or that mic, and it's a whole new version now. So that was hard. It was hard, battling with that, the ego, but I knew ultimately what made me happy, and it was being home with my daughter, it was being home with my family, and from there I could figure everything else out.
Yeah. Bro, like, I mean, you're hitting heavy, son. Like,
Yeah,
you're just
yeah,
hitting
it's
heavy,
deep.
like, you
It's deep.
dying of ego, like, ridding yourself of
Yeah,
identity,
yeah,
because we all go through it, and it's a choice. We can either cling to those things and say, hey, this is who I am, or you can really do the work and look inside and say, okay, this is what actually matters. These are just different phases or parts of what make Mike Newton,
exactly,
So,
exactly.
like, again, it's at such a young age too, bro. 25, 26, to be able to do that, like, just the maturity and the grounding that you needed, the support
Yeah,
around you, the real ones in the room that
yeah,
really know your
yeah.
heart, like,
I was gonna
so
say
I,
a kid, it'll speed up some years. Now that'll do it to you, man. Especially a girl. Oh, you got a daughter, man. Listen, that 25 turning to 36. You like, no, oh man, I got to be with my baby. So, but yeah, I had to. I mean, I had to grow up. I had to see things differently. I was almost, hate to say it, but forced in a way to mature a little bit quicker. And I still, again, I'm not perfect by any means necessary, but making those decisions, it was like time to look in the mirror and be like, okay, Mike, like you gotta take a step forward. You can't just.
yeah, bro. No, it's again just there's so much on the other side. Like, people are always so worried about what we don't know and uncertainty, and like that's where God does His best work, His strongest work, and like, you didn't know all this was on the other
Yeah,
side. And so for you just to kind of, again, take it one step at a time, one day at a time, and say, hey, listen, you know, I have an obligation. I have a family. I have a beautiful daughter. That's your heart.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I'm not there yet. I pray to be there
yeah.
as a husband, as a father. All my homies seemingly are girl dads, which is great. So I'm like, okay, God, I'm in line for a girl or two. I'm sure of it. But no, man, like, just again, just to be so real with yourself. That's leadership, and that's one thing I want to talk to you about in a little bit is leadership. Because from my seat, you are a leader. You always have been on the court. From just seeing you move, just the integrity that you move with, uh, and obviously for what you do in the Cleveland and community, man. So, thank you for sharing your story with us. I appreciate it. I know the people listening appreciate it. Uh, Congratulations, 5 months in operations, but really 2.5 years of ideating around ELA. So talk to us about that journey, being like, okay, hey, I'm back home. Then, Cleveland, I'm home, and then you're like,
Hey,
okay,
no,
like, let's get to
yeah.
work. Let's bring this to life, and let's really, be a pillar in the community. Tell us about how that all came to life.
For sure. So I think that again, really to highlight like the Nigerian experience, like leaving the Olympics, like I feel like I was at such a high, right? Like we beat Team USA, like how it goes, man. People are posting you on Instagram, and then I got a championship ring with the Golden State Warriors. People post you again, then I win another one. It was at a time where the same time I mentioned where I'm like, okay, I have to do one or the other. It's either I'm coming home and it was really not a coming home. It was either NBA or 2K. And I knew eventually, like, it was in the deck of cards to come back home. So when I made the decision to separate myself from the actual, like, in real life basketball journey and just, partake in the gaming experience, it was like, okay, this is cool, but I was hearing rumors and rumblings that, the 2K League was going to end soon. And I had talked to some big people, not even in the gaming space of 2K, but even in just other spaces like talent managers who manage streamers and
Mm-hmm.
gamers in different spaces, like, hey, like, you might want to jump off that ship soon. So, um, understanding that, like, okay, I've just made this decision to get out the NBA, but I'm staying in game, and the game that I'm actually in is about to end soon. Like, I need to figure it out. So It was crazy, man. When I moved back home, because at first, like I said, I was doing 6 months. So I was really just living in Cali the whole time, with occasional trips back and forth to check in with my daughter and spend time with her. But when I went all in on the gaming side of things, I was staying at my mom's house. Like, I had just got out of a relationship and trying to figure that out. So that was some of the darkest times, because it was like you have this idea of what your life will look like, and when all of these different changes come at once, it's a lot of reflection. You go to some deep places to try to get things together. It was right around my daughter's birthday, man. She was born December 30th of 2018. It was right around Christmas time. New Year's was coming up, and one of my friends I was talking to at the time, she mentioned a vision board, and I actually got the vision board in here. She was like, "You should do a vision board." I'm like, "Okay." So as I'm leading up to this vision board, I still have my connections with the Cavs, the Bucks. My mom was like, I just told her, like, "Man, we should go on a date." So my mom was like, "All right." So I had 3 sets of tickets. This is how crazy life works, man. So I had 3 sets of tickets. I had some tickets for the Milwaukee Bucks, and I had 2 sets of tickets for the Cavs. Now, me, greedy, trying to figure out the best seats to give my mom the best experience. And none of the tickets were really good. Like I said, NBA Mike was over with, man. They like set them up in the rafters. I ended up going with the Buck seats, right? So I had 3 sets. I went with the Bucks, and me and my mom go. And prior to that, I was watching a Gary V podcast, and it was the title of it is the esports is already written, or the history of esports is already written, some to that nature. And I was watching it, and I'm like, man, like, here's a guy who usually talking about. So I'm like, all right, if esports is already written, I'm in this space. I have a crazy background. Like, why not? Like, why not me? Like, let me start a gaming lounge. You know what I mean? But like, what about the gaming lounge would be different? Like, because it's not many in Cleveland. I'm young. I'm in the space. Like, I got some people to support me. Like, let's do it. So my mom was already going. Man, the next day when we went to the Cavs game, we was in the Bucks seat. It was a guy with a Fortnite hoodie right in front of me, like two rows in front of me. So I'm like, "Ma, I feel like I'm about to say something to this guy. Like, he got a Fortnite hoodie. Like, why would he have a Fortnite hoodie? The guy's a little bit older." So she's like, "All right, like, say something."
Yeah.
So he's walking back up. I'm like, "Hey, like, do you game any?" So he's like, "No, not really, but like, I'm in the gaming space." I'm like, "Oh, okay," because I just noticed like your Fortnite hoodie, like it was just kind of weird. You don't really see people just wearing Fortnite hoodies. He
Right.
goes, "I'm the vice president of Gary V Esports."
Of course, bro. Of course he is.
Darren Glover, the same guy who told me you might want to jump off that boat soon. Darren Glover, man, he was at the game because he has a connection with Grayson Allen, who was on the Bucks at that time. So, I mean, what's the chances that this guy,
Come on, man.
mind you, he was asking questions during this podcast. So it's full circle even with him, because he was there. He wasn't even a part of Gary V's like the esports. He wasn't even a part of the foundation or esports. He just happened to ask a question in the stands, and 2-3 years later, now he's a part of Gary V's company. So we exchanged contacts. I just kind of told him the story. I actually talked to him about a month ago. So we talked, and then like that contact led to another one, I'm just throwing stuff off the wall. I'll be happy to share my mentor who actually helped me build this out in some sorts. Is Adam Shire. He's the creator and co-founder of Siri. So that's my mentor. Yeah. So Adam Shire helped me build it out. So yeah, I mean, that's what really, again, similar to the 2K story of jumping into gaming, it was the same, man. Like, I'm like, what's the chances that I just watched this video and a day later, this guy, he's here. So that's how it came about, man. And then I just stayed at it for like 2.5 years, man, figuring stuff out. I was at it by myself for about 2 to 3 months. And then my partner, my co-founder, Abby, she assisted. She's really good at, the high level, like, brand building in a sense. Like, she doesn't have a tech background. She doesn't have a gaming background, but she's been a high level executive, very good in terms of keeping stuff orchestrated, contracts.
The
But yeah,
business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she has the business. So I was the visionary. She's the business mindset, help close things. But yeah, I was at it for like I said, 2 to 4 months by myself. I had her join in, and we've been at it ever since. So
Man,
yeah,
bro, that's such a like again, just full circle moment
it's
when you think
crazy, man.
about
It's crazy.
you're reading this article, you're tapped into this Gary Vee podcast, and then again you go
I'm in
like
my mom's basement in the dark watching the Gary Vee podcast. And the next day, I happen to choose any, mini, mighty, mo to write tickets, man. And now I'm talking to somebody that's in his camp. It's crazy.
man,
Crazy.
just
Can't make it up. Darren Glover.
DG, what up? Can't
DG,
wait for you
what's
to tap
up,
into this,
DG?
DG.
Yeah,
You're
DG
gonna
gonna tap
appreciate
in.
it.
He gonna
Yeah,
tap
you're gonna
in.
appreciate it. Yeah, bro, that's just it's so special, and it's again, we talked about it before a little bit, just how God works and his design and his perfection and how he ensures that things get done. He's got a gift for you, Mike, and it's alive, it's well, and it's going to continue to be. And I'm excited to see how it just continues to grow and how you impact these kids, man. Like gaming is
Appreciate it.
so crazy. My nephew,
Appreciate it.
Evan, like I'm like, bro, I don't even. I thought we grew up gaming. I'm like, bro,
Right.
like
No, it's different. It's
it's
different.
different. It's a whole different. And we had Call of Duties and the first versions of the 2Ks and whatnot, and being able to play online, so playing with people across the world. But it's different now, man. Like it's
Yeah.
so different, and it's so cool to see. Especially just that esports is now in a lot of places a varsity letter sport.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
So we've been doing a lot of work in that space too. When I worked with the Cavs, we had a partnership with Cleveland State, so I had that connection, which is great. PJ Farrell, he's the director of their esports, so I mean, he's done an amazing job to help partner with us with trying to continue to expand esports in Northeast Ohio. But yeah, I mean, there's teams that compete in like Smash, Marvel
mhm.
Rivals probably this year, and I mean, it's private schools, inner city schools. They're all competing. And again, and I know it's mentioned all the time, but I think the thing that I would like to highlight is that yeah, you can earn a scholarship, to participate and compete in gaming. But then there's a whole nother world where like you can earn a scholarship. Like there's degree programs for esports. And I think a lot of times it gets lost on parents where the focus is always on the player. And being able to experience the NBA at a level of not being a player, but being an executive or being a operations guy, and then the same in gaming of like I never was a professional gamer, but I was a coach. There's league operations, there's marketing, there's sponsorships, there's so I just like being able to highlight that like when we talk about esports, it's not just the kid or the player behind the controller, but there's a whole production behind this that's not being highlighted, and opportunities for kids to, you know, open their eyes to and still be around something that they love and may not be have to be the best player at it.
It's like you don't know until you're in it, and then you
Yeah,
realize the
100%.
whole operation of it as you
Yeah.
speak on. Like with me being in sales, I've been in tech sales since we graduated. My mom used to run around telling people, "Oh, he's in the Matrix." I'm like, "Mom, you can't tell people that.
Right.
People actually
No,
believe
she's
that we're in a simulation.
right.
And none of this is real, so you can't say that." And then people are gonna be like,
Yeah.
"Your son is probably, he's one of these sleeper cell folks, or
Right,
the
right.
FBI agent
They're
under
gonna
on
be
the low."
called.
And this is like,
Yeah, we in a time where
I'm
yeah, you
simply
can't.
software. I'm helping people
Right,
be efficient so they can do what
right.
they need to do. But it's such a sophisticated sell. It's not, you're selling a car, you're not selling a cell phone out of Sprint
Yeah,
or, what we grew up on, seeing
yeah,
people like H. Gregg and whatnot. It's like, no, this is far
yeah,
different. And until you're in it,
yeah.
that's when you understand the art of it, the science of it. It's not just, you want to buy this, yes or no. It's high level problem solving. And so, to your point as well, like just to outside looking in, being like, wait, you want me to coach gaming? And then you get into it and you see the whole world just
Mind
pop
blowing.
off, man.
Yeah,
So when it comes to the kids, share with us some of the programs. Like, I was on the website as I was doing research. Like, you're doing a lot of really just incredible things for kids from, elementary to high school age. Like, you have a whole calendar of STEM type classes in the summer for 8th grade to 12th graders to dive into, from coding and all the things. Like, bro, no one is doing this. Like,
Appreciate you, man.
bro, this
Appreciate you.
is
Yeah.
so revolutionary, bro. Like,
Appreciate you. Yeah.
yeah, man. Like, would love to hear just around how you wanted to go after empowering our youth through gaming in such a way.
Yeah, I think so. Some of the programs I'll hit on that first. So some of the programs, as you mentioned, coding, programming, um, which can be interchangeable. We have cybersecurity and then game design. We teach these weekly. Typically, how we run off of like a subscription based model where kids can buy and buy the four. So if they want to be in one class, they can buy a 4-pack, 8-pack. But you have your designated time and your instructor. These classes are 50-minute interactive classes, and it's just reps. Like right now, there's not a certificate or a certification program, right? Like this isn't that. It's just more just getting reps. So with that being said, we have two groups. We break them up and divide them from 4th to 7th grade, and then 8th to 12th grade, because we want to make sure the education that's being provided, that these kids are with peers that are similar to age and similar to experience. And then for the summer, to your point, like we have summer camp. So today we actually started a sneaker design camp where kids will learn how to create a 3D web-based or 3D design sneaker from
Yeah,
scratch, and then create one of their own. So like we have a kid that's creating like a black and white Nike, Kobe, and then we have another one that's creating some light blue, red, and white dunks, and then we got some other kids that they're creating, but those were just that stuck out to me the most. But yeah, like just being able to have kids, open their eyes to these different types of experiences early on, hopefully to spark, some interest in these computer science type programs where hopefully later down the line it can lead them to a successful career or interest. Now, when it comes to like the gaming part of it, it's just to differentiate us, right? Like I've been to a lot of gaming lounges from Cleveland and Northeast Ohio all the way to London. I've been to gaming lounges all over the world, and what I've seen is, the experience typically is the same, and there's slight differences, whether it's upselling and food, programming, or not
mhm.
programming, but food and different esports tournaments or whatnot. But I think how you really bring it all home is by providing education. And we're in a day and age where kids don't know how to write in cursive. Kids don't everything's touch screen. Kids don't even know how to really use a mouse, or a keyboard. So um,
Facts.
being able to give them experience, having them come in and first soften them up with gaming, and before I give them a controller, check it out with the keyboard. And what you'll see is a lot of times kids are thrilled, um, and this is even what I learned with my daughter, like the sense of accomplishment, right? So a kid just pushing spacebar, learning how to jump, and he's jumping out of his seat because before he would have just asked for an Xbox controller and press A. Now he's trying to figure out how to run. He's trying to figure out how to crouch, and by the time they leave, the second visit, they don't even want they don't want the controller,
Yeah,
and what I've seen success in, or at least I won't say success, but what I've seen was most fulfilling to me is like being able to see a kid do that, and now they're learning the home base where the A is on the keyboard, or the S, or the F, or the L, and now it's like, okay, let's see if it's something there with education. So um, we just want to provide a space where kids are comfortable, man. Whether you want to come hang out, you want to come game, we would love for you to learn some education and hopefully make a career out of it later down the line. But that's kind of our motto and how we came to terms with, like, okay, gaming is cool, but like how can we create games that also leads to education. So yeah,
yeah. That's major, bro.
it's crazy. Yeah.
I'm gonna walk you down on this.
Oh.
You said the most self-fulfilling. You changed your mind on saying success, and you
Yeah.
went and says, "Bro, that is a success, right?" Like,
No, for sure, for sure,
major. Okay,
for
that's
sure.
major.
For sure.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Yeah. And I don't want to short myself. I think I just love using the word fulfilled because, like, everybody looks at success differently, right? Like, some people look at success and they count it by like how much money you bring in. Some people look at success by how many people are in your door. Um, you know, I like to really like my thing is feeling fulfilled because I know success, it was just success to open this lounge up. You know what I mean? Like that's a success within itself. So, but you're 100% right, man. Like it is, if I'm fulfilled, that's success. Like,
Exactly.
so no, I'm
Yeah.
right there with you. I'm right there with you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, bro. For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
And just I can't imagine gaming with the keyboard. Give me the
Yeah.
controller. That's what I'm saying. Like it's so
Yeah.
different now.
It's
It's
tough.
so different now.
It's tough.
It just the degree of difficulty and just their ability and how they learn now and just again we were the early pioneers of it, but man, they've by that sixth grade they've mastered.
It's different. It's different,
It's
man.
so
If you
different.
see,
So
hi, yeah,
and I love that you're the emphasis on education, right? Like it makes me think like back in the day when we had the MySpace and we'd do our own layouts. That
yeah,
was really really entry level. If you would have
it
told us
is,
that back in the day that
yeah,
technology is only going to take off and you can get paid six figures to do this and live swimmingly, I bet you a lot of us would have been like, let's take this a little bit more
man.
serious.
Right. Hold on.
Get my top 8
I was
posted.
about to say,
Yeah.
hey, let's top 16. I'm gonna have 5 songs going. I'm gonna have one song that I'm gonna start DJing intro to a next one, smooth
Yes,
trends. Oh
bro.
yeah,
Who
yeah,
was
man,
around to tell us that's what we were doing?
man, and that's
And
my
now you're
thing.
doing that, bro.
Yeah, and I get parents, a lot of parents, older individuals like, man, I wish we had this in line. I'm like, that's what I'm trying to help people realize. Like, this wasn't around. Like I said, I told you, mine was the garage. You know what I mean? So, to be able to provide a space like this, man, I don't ever take it for granted. So, never take it.
Man, so beautiful, so beautiful. I'm curious, right? Your different pockets of success, and they were all at the same time.
Yeah,
The Nigerian international basketball team, again the Golden State Warriors gaming squad, the actual Warriors, so
yeah,
championship, a great, a historic run in
yeah,
international play. You were surrounded by just success and just on another caliber of not just energy but execution and
yeah.
preparation. How have you used those experiences in what you're doing with ELA and instilling
Yeah,
that in the kids?
yeah, I think that's a great question because I think it even goes all the way to like high school, right? Like my high school coach, Eric Flannery, like I remember being a freshman. Um, my first 2 games were really good. I was thinking highly of myself again, ego. And that was a tough year for me just because of the transition of going, I rode a bus. I had to get picked up at a Catholic church, and rode a bus where just to get to school every day. You know what I mean? So um like that transition from going from public, was predominantly black, to private, where I don't know anybody there. I wanted to transfer. And, one of the things he told me at age 15 was, you can't always have your mom handle your problems because I never reached out to her. Yeah, this was 15 years old. So, like, that type of leadership, like, I'm the type of guy, like, don't sugarcoat me. Like, I'd rather you just cut it to me straight. And that was the first person that I felt like really like it's like ouch, you know what I mean? And I mean he did it before during the season, but like that was one of those, like I'm sitting next to him, across from him, I mean, and he's like, yo, like at some point you got to man up. So that was a good experience. I mean, Cleveland State with Gary Waters was a crazy one because I mean anybody who, and shout out to him, but anybody who's played for him or even been around him understands the level of attention to detail. Like it's to the point where you can't even meet the expectations. I could give you stories about like the expectations he had of me where I had no control over, but he had an understanding of, yo, I'm trying to set you up for that NBA job, which I wasn't prepared for, right?
Yeah.
So like
He
even
saw it
that,
before you saw it and was
but again, like
man.
self ego, I'm looking at it as this older guy is insane, but no, this was going to be the expectation. Like we're at a mid major. Like imagine if you were at a high level D1, like a Kentucky, or again at the NBA level. So that type of leadership, and obviously through the NBA, Mike Brown was a great mentor for me at a point in time where, seeing how he kind of managed different individuals. And then my manager, Rustin Lee of the 2K League team. So I think it's interesting to be able to I mean, I forgot when Rolly Massimino, who's a Hall of Fame college coach, 1985 Villanova national team. I've had some great individuals that I've been around who I've been able to kind of, take bits and pieces from each and make it my own, right? It's just like parenting. There's some things that I wasn't high on, them as leaders, and there's some where I'm like, yo, like I'm lucky, I mean, I'm blessed to be able to be around this, right? So
Yeah,
I think now coming full circle to here now, it's you give so much more grace to those guys because obviously they have a team, right? They have individuals, they have assistant coaches, they have, people to support them. But at the end of the day, like they're the king, what I mean, of the team, or they're the, they're the leader of the ship. So that ship sinks. Everybody's looking at the coach. They're not looking at the assistant coach. They're not looking at the best player. They're going for the coach. And that's in all high school, that's college, that's NBA, the coach is always the first one to go. And that's what let me know, like, I didn't really want to be a coach the rest of my life. Like, I'd rather go to operations. But it allows me to give them grace because, like, now running a gaming lounge, being transparent, I'm the only one. Like, my co-founder, she just picked up a new job where, it takes her attention away, from here. You know what I mean? So she's supporting in a different way now, more of the finances, right? Like he's making sure, like, if we need a buffer, like, so she's doing her own thing and sacrificing, crazy amount of hours in a different space. But now it's just me. So, like I mentioned to you, now it's me taking this call or taking this time to chat with you. But if somebody comes in, I got to run to the front desk. If the tech goes out, I'm the tech guy. We do Taco Tuesday, I'm serving the kids, right? Like if someone wants to
yeah,
book a birthday party, I'm booking it. Like, so it's literally me, and I don't have anybody to bounce ideas off of. Like, obviously I have a support system, but when 3 o'clock hits every day, I'm in here alone. You know what I mean? I'm trying to bang my head over, how can I be creative? How can I come up with different ideas to get more people in and show, what we're trying to accomplish? So, ultimately, just seeing the drive of all of those coaches has allowed me to understand and going back to that fulfillment of I got kids that come in here every day looking for a space where they can relinquish that energy or they can just talk to me because I'm understanding, I'm giving a listening ear. I play, bigger brother. I play, therapist in a sense,
yeah,
but I play all of those roles while trying to run an establishment. So, um, just I've been blessed, man. I've been blessed to be around some great coaches who look at family as family, and I try to carry that out with every individual that walks through this door. I try to get to know them, not just what favorite game they play, but like, hey, like Mia has dance lessons every Tuesday, and it's Latin dance, right? And she's gonna perform here soon at the Guardian Stadium. So like, those are things that I want to know.
yeah.
And that's what everybody, just even some of our educators, I want to know the 2 educators that we're bringing on board, they're creating a STEAM game. How can I assist in that lane? Like, so it's being sure to really invest in the individual, not just see them as a paying client or a paying customer, right? Like we
Right.
want to build relationships.
Relationships. It's what we're here for, man. That's what
Yeah,
makes life life.
yeah,
I often say, you could stack my comparison, my life, LeBron's, King Griffey Jr.'s, like whoever.
yeah.
If today's my last day and I took my last breath, like I live the greatest life because I had the greatest people in my
Yeah,
life, bro.
it's
Like
awesome.
from
Yeah,
you, from the rest of my boys, from my mom, my pops.
yeah,
I'm surrounded by greatness.
yeah,
I know what it's like to be great. To what you were talking about, right? Like you
yeah.
were surrounded by greatness. Therefore, your sum total of who at the very bare minimum you're going to be, Mike, is great,
True,
right?
I
And it's your
appreciate
love.
that.
It's for you to continue to level that up and take that up to the next level, which you have been doing. So 5 months in, bro, I can't wait to episode 3. Right, we're coming back for a
Man,
third time. We're at
man, for
your new
sure,
lounge. It's
for
5 years
sure,
from now. It's
for sure.
it's
Yeah,
on
and
the
we'll,
beach right there in between the
you'll have a spot right next
Grasshoppers,
to me,
you know what I'm
man.
saying? Like
Yeah, for sure, for
it's just
sure.
so beautiful, man. And I love that perspective. I'd love to ask you, what is your definition of leadership? Um, I would love to share mine real quick. It's I was put onto this recently by my pastor. Shout out Vincent Campbell at the Face Center, Tucker, Georgia. You ever around? Pull up with me, but tap in online. But he said this, and I was like, wow, this is I've never seen it that way. Leadership is an inconvenience of self to serve to better others. And I'm like, ooh. I was like, oh man.
Hey, put
And
it
this
in your
has been
back
like the
pocket.
front of my mind for like 2 months. It's just like,
Yeah, for sure.
Would love your thoughts on leadership and your definition of it.
And I'm more of a guy. I like examples. I'm not the best with like quotes or like giving a definition, but like my example for you would be, say we play for a team, right? If we play for a team, I'm fighting for the back of that jersey. I'm fighting for the back of that jersey. So what I mean by that is like Ethlete Lab Academy, I love, but when I come in here, it's not about Ethlete Lab Academy. It's about, like I said, Mia. It's about Joseph. It's about Liam. It's about Israel, who's in here right now. It's about Caden. It's about Jonah. It's about all these kids I'm mentioning. Like I'm fighting for the back of that jersey. So like through leadership, when I was in roles where, I had an opportunity to speak up against, some unfavorably matches, maybe somebody that was more in power or, a higher executive. I mean, if I got to be the one to be slain for speaking what I believe is right, then it just has to happen. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of how I put it, man. I don't know if that makes too much sense, but if we're playing, if we're playing for the the Golden State Warriors, and Dunham's on the back, I'm taking that last name before that team. I mean, and if that,
yes,
yeah, and I know it's team, but like I like the individuals, like, and again, and ultimately it's still team. But I think when we focus so much on the brand and you get so caught up in the brand, sometimes the relationships get lost, man, because you're so focused on a perception, or you're so focused on building something where you can't build a brand without those people. It's backwards. Like in order to build the brand, you have to build the relationships. You have to build the community. You need paying customers, and they can feel through that, man. I mean, and that's what's funny, man. My partner was telling me I'll never be able to leave the front desk simply because, man, I'll have kids that just come in and talk to me. I have a kid who he had a membership. He just wanted to do it for a couple months, and he literally drive past. He just got a new bike. He's like, yeah, I just stopped by to say hi. Like, I just want to show you my bike and see if you want to. That's what I'm building. Like, whether you have a membership with me or not, you're still family. Like, it's not determined by money that you put in my pocket, or what I can get out of you. No, I enjoy us crossing paths for that first month. I just am grateful that you even spent the amount of money that you spent with me. So you're always welcome to just stop by and chat with me. I'll come outside and hop on the bike if you let me for a little bit, just to see that smile on your face and have that talk, because I've been low and you never know what someone's going through. So if somebody's going to take the time to come by and stay hi to me, like, what's up? Let's chop it up. Like, how you doing, man? How's school? How's summer? Like, so yeah, I'm fighting for that back name, that last name on that jersey, man, before I'm fighting for, the team. I'm before, and I mean, it may sound crazy, but like I'm for individuals. I want to make sure each person, because at the end of the day, if each person is good, then we got a solid team. We all fighting for the same thing.
Facts, bro. Hey, you really are a coach, son. Like, I'm ready to go. Like, what?
But that's,
like, I'm ready to go. Like, come on. Like,
yeah, I appreciate you. But but that's
up.
the thing, though. It comes with accountability, and that's why I tell all my players, like, and I think that's how we got to that point of the championship run that one year, because it was like, yo, like, okay, look, here's where I'm at, and I had that conversation at the very beginning. Look, man, hey, I'm gonna do the absolute best to win a championship. Now, with that, I'm gonna hold you guys to a level of expectation you've probably never been held at, and if you meet that level, which it can't be met. Like, as a Christian, you'll never arrive. you're always so they'll know if we meet an expectation, it's just another one. Like, you got to constantly work. So they understood that, though. So at that point, it was easy to fight for them because they're fighting for me. Like, but it's easy to fight for somebody that you're with every day. But if it's somebody that's not, engaged in the product, or they're not boots on the ground and they don't know what's going on behind the scenes in a room that's 110 degrees and you got to buy fans to, practice together, you don't understand. You just would never. So it's
Yeah.
easy. I mean, it's easy to fight for somebody who, but it was that understanding. Like, it was that, yo, if we gonna do this, we gonna do this. But I need y'all to understand, like, I'm not putting my life on the line in my career if y'all are not willing to do the same for me in these games and in these practices and putting more time in and being respectful and showing up on time. And, if I ask something of you, whether it's a play or, a position swap, I need y'all to trust me. And if it don't work, man, let's scratch it. But I need the best effort. I just need the best effort. And that comes with a lot of, when you have good players, or you have you have individuals that are high functioning, right? They're really good at what they do. It comes with some friction, but as a leader, you can't be afraid of that. You got to embrace it. You got to be able to know when you're wrong and apologize. You got to know when, hey, you were right, and you got to voice that. You got to empower people, and that's what we were all about, man. Like, and I
Yeah,
think,
man.
again, that's why the 2K. I mean, you hear it in my voice though, but that's why with the 2K team, it was just so much more love because I had much more say and I was more genuine, and they were able to speak to me in a way of, they didn't feel nervous. And if they did, I'm like, man, pull it out. Like, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. Like, we need to get this out. Like, we can't, show up every day with, these attitudes of, well, I don't want to be here. It's like, nah, let's talk about it. What did I do? Like, I'll let you, and then we gonna dap up, keep it pushing. Let's win this championship. So that was, I mean, that 2K league, like I said, man, I mean, if I had to pick, I mean, as crazy as this is gonna sound, man, like, the feeling I felt winning that championship with that 2K league team might be it's up there with opening this lounge. And I was working on this for 2.5 years. It's like winning that with those guys. It beats beating Team USA. It beats being at Game 6 of the Celtics when the Warriors won, partying with. It beats that by a lane. Like, it's not even close.
Yeah.
But it's up there with opening my own game. And that's how much I love those guys. That's how much, like, we went through and fought through. Like, it was crazy. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, it's in your voice. Like, bro, I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying,
I'm reliving it, man. Like,
like,
yeah,
ooh,
yeah, yeah,
ooh. Like, I know
yeah,
y'all that are watching this, like, you see
yeah.
things popping out both
Yeah,
ways.
that's what I'm saying.
For those of you that are
Way,
listening to this, you need to watch it, because then I already
man.
know it's pumping through. What? It's got you. It's
Yeah,
got me lit. I'm ready to
yeah,
go, bro.
yeah,
Uh, okay. High level, just for people that don't know about the NBA
yeah.
2K League. Oh, what is it? Until I was looking into research and our conversation
Mm-hmm.
today, I only knew that, on 2K, you have like the playground, you can go
Yep,
5v5, you have your
yep.
different builds and that sort of thing. And my younger brother, he's who put me onto that, because I was like,
Yeah.
that's why I kind of stopped gaming, because I'm like, no, let's get online, run fives. I don't even want to find
Right,
other dudes that have different builds or da 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 da.
right,
And
right.
so, high level, would
Mhm.
love to dive into that for our non-gamers and esport folk that aren't familiar with the 2K League, before we
Yeah,
continue conversation.
yeah. So it's changed a lot over the years. So I jumped in season 3. Um, I think, what season is this? I think it might be season 8. Not sure. I think season 8. So I think I won season 6. Um, so in my first year in it, it was just 5v5. So I had 6 players. I had one sub, where, for disciplinary reasons or things just wasn't working out, I could, sub them in. But essentially, you have 5 players, just like the regular NBA. So you would have point guard, shoot guard, small forward, power forward, center. Um, Mid game, you cannot sub, right? So whoever you roll that out, that's who you got. So to start, it was best of 3 each game. So, my season 3, like, in order to get a win, like, you would have to either 2-0 the team or 2-1 them. So, I mean, long broadcast, long games. Then season 4, was it a change? I think season 4 was the first. Season 4, it wasn't 3v3. It was still just 5v5. Kind of the same layout. And then they have, like, tournaments in between, right? So you would have like your 5v5 regular season, East West, but then they'll have like little tournaments with different types of, gimmicks. So they may have one called the turn, where the turn is like some East team play against West teams. They had one called, man, I can't remember the other ones. There was another one where you would have to do different builds. So like as you continue, like say we played against your team and we won, we can cancel out a build. So if I knew your team liked the slash and point guard, which primarily is a point guard that can't really shoot but can dunk, we would be like, all right, take that dunk and point guard out to make them play with a different build that they're not
Yeah.
used to playing with, right? So you could do that, like maybe, so whatever like you thought like their best builds were or their best players, you can slash that. And so, there would be times where we would practice like with all types of different builds, trying to assume what teams would. So it's a whole thing to it. We obviously watch film, just like the NBA. We use the same programs called Synergy, where I would cut the film. We would have film studies. I would use
That's so
plays.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we did NBA draft combine for 2K League, so like they would show up at a place and we would be there, watch them, talk to them, interview them. I would ask them questions on Zoom. Like it was a whole thing, man. But then by season 5, 6, and 7, that's when they introduced the park. So it was 5v5 and 3v3. Reason being, trying to tap into a different audience. As you can imagine, man. I mean, 5v5, it was meant for in-person play. When COVID hit, slow things down. Obviously, from like a profit perspective, they figured, instead of flying everybody in hotels, we just do this remote, bring viewership in. But I think 5v5 game, 3 of them, how long are you, keeping the attention of, someone who's not trying to make the league? You know what I mean? So they brought 3v3 in, shorter games, more arcadish, more of like the arcade feel where, you shooting long threes, dunking on people. But yeah, I think from a coaching standpoint, we did trades, there was free agents, suspensions, all types of things. And
That's so crazy.
yeah, but I mean, you have plays like I ran, and people, it's funny because like I wasn't really big in the community of like talking to different coaches. Like the competitiveness of me was just like, I don't want to be friends with anybody, which sometimes backfires, because there's people out there who have connections but like my competitiveness was just like, I can't like be friends with somebody. And so it
Give you the
wasn't like,
edge.
yeah, so to all the coaches out there, man, it was nothing personal. It was just I needed that edge. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, to get back to my point of like high level, I mean, to those who know, they know. If you know, you know. I created the 3-2 zone in the 2K League where we ran zone, man, like legit, and teams would be frantic. Like some teams actually picked up on it and stole it. I had a play where I never coached a USA team, but it was funny. I created a play. It was actually the year that we won it all, and they actually have Olympics for this, like USA. And the first play that the USA team ran was my play that I created. So it's just funny. Like I felt like I left my mark, as a coach without even having to talk. The players know. I got tweets. But that's where it was, man. Like it was, and there was other coaches. Not to dim light on any other coaches. Like there was other coaches who had great plays that I stole. You know what I mean? So it was a. I mean, I'm kind of sad it went, but again, God's plan. I don't know if I would have ever left.
Yeah.
If but yeah, coaches. I mean, coaches were serious. I mean, we had GMs, we had scouts. I had an analytics guy who was giving me like, "Hey, this guy shoots more on the right side than the left side on the video game." Man, it was crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like again, like you don't know what you don't know until you're talking to an expert, right? Someone that is in the space, living, breathing it all. And each team, like so the Milwaukee Bucks had a team. Like every actual franchise had its own team,
Not
right?
Yeah, so not everyone. There's some. I'm trying to think of the teams who didn't. So like the Phoenix Suns, they didn't have an esports team, but majority of them, yeah, majority of them bought in. We actually had some international teams as well. So we had NBL Oz, which is like a Australian team. We had Dukes, which was I think a team from Spain. And when I say from Spain, the players weren't necessarily from Spain, but the team like trying to tap into that international market to drive viewership.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean primarily like okay, so like yeah, OKC, the Suns didn't have a team. It was just a couple, but yeah, I think it was about when I last left, it was probably anywhere from like 22 to 24 teams.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
80% of the league. Like
Yeah,
that's
that's
more
just
than enough to have
and that's
the,
just
right?
and that's just 5v5. So like in 3v3, we even introduced like the amateur league where like amateur teams could like buy in and like kind of spice it up. To give their shot, kind of like an interview in the sense of like how they perform 3v3. Do you want to pick them up for 5v5 type of deal? To
Yeah.
keep the community engaged. But where the league's at now is more entertainment, man. So they're trying to do more of like a pop culture where it's less competition, more pop-ups, getting influencers involved, almost like kind of like a media and entertainment outlet for the NBA players, but as well as like, keep the 2K publishers with Take Two up and running. So,
Right. Man, thank you for,
no problem.
letting us into that world a little deeper because I know still means so much to you, right? And will always be that. So, we're moving into the next portion of the show. Those of you who have been with us, this is new. So it was once mind, body, and soul. It is now called In Good Light. So a little rebranding. I love it. I like it personally.
I love it.
But
I'm with it
In Good
too.
Light, Mike, it's a rapid fire round of more questions. You just wanted to get to know you more outside of just the leader that you are. Ethlete Lab Academy. You let me say it wrong for the first
You still saying it wrong too. It's Ethlete, so it's like athlete, but with the E. Yep,
Ethlete. See, man, I'm
Yep.
like, I would all day. I'm like,
You got
athlete,
it.
athlete, athlete, because I'm
I get
thinking
a kick.
like the big, like
Yeah,
the
I get a kick
Bitcoin
out
time.
of it.
I'm like,
Yeah,
ether.
I get
I'm like, got it. I was on my
I
walk
get a
today. I'm
kick.
like saying it to myself, bro, and I'm like,
I
yeah,
know,
I got it.
and I love seeing it because I just see like the wheels turning in your head every time you're like,
Oh, shoot, I'm
it's funny.
crying.
I get it from everybody, but yeah, it's Ethlete. So Ethlete Lab
Ethlete,
Academy. Yep.
big
Yep.
ethlete. Maybe I can go back and dub it over. We'll see. I don't know.
No, you good. Keep it how it is, man. It's making the show more. You know what I'm saying?
You already know.
We rocking out with.
Okay. First off, man, like I always like to. There's a few just staple questions that I love asking, and that's what is your definition of a good service?
Yeah, I mean, not looking for anything in return, man. Like selflessness. Showing up even when you don't want to. Yeah, like again, I'm an example guy. Like one of the things that we kind of inherited, my partner, we haven't done in a while. We call it a gift bag or a blessing bag. I'm sorry, a blessing bag. So what we'll do is we'll go to like the dollar store, man. Don't cost a lot, man. Go to the dollar store. We'll get a couple of like 4 to 6 bags. We'll put deodorant in. We'll put a toothbrush, toothpaste, Nutri-Grain bar, water, some snacks, and then if we see somebody homeless on the side road, we just give it to them and say, there's a blessing bag. God is with you. So it's things like that, man, when it's like no one's watching, and it's just selfless. You know what I mean? It don't take much. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. No, I love it. I love it. All right, blessing bags. Okay, bet. I'm with that. And selflessness
my partner,
is.
Yeah. I was gonna say my partner put me onto that. That's something that we she's probably been doing for a long time, but I became a part of it. We haven't done it in a while, man. My daughter it's to the point now where my daughter's like, yo, we gotta get more. And I think it's crazy, man. It's such a blessing, yeah, because like, we get so self-consumed with our day-to-day and our struggles and things like, oh, how am I gonna keep the lights on? And there's people out here, you know what I mean, every day just trying to find their way. So I mean, my daughter is in on it. My partner, this is something that she kind of helped us with, even with finding Christ. So with blessing bags, I mean, it's again fulfilling. It probably take you $20, man, $20 to bless 6 people. Bless 6 people.
Easy.
Yeah.
No, I love it. Yeah. I love it. Where does your heart to serve come from? Like, because like you're not the Ethlete Lab Academy is not necessarily a nonprofit. However, you're doing great work within the community. Yeah. Being the big brother, being being the cool guy on the block, getting folks in, for sure, educating, loving on. Like you're doing such a beautiful thing. Where does that heart to give back and to love on folks come from?
Yeah, I think It's a couple of things, man. I think first is just God giving me grace, man. I done been in a lot of situations where, you know, I'm blessed to even be alive or to be in the situation I'm in now. So, um, being a steward, right, paying it forward, I think that's one. And then just understanding that, like, again, I was blessed to even be able to go to a private high school, right? Like, I hear, so many kids that, they're just in their neighborhood, like where they happen to grow up and they have no control over their environment. And, they're going to school with lack of. So for me, like we've talked about doing a nonprofit leg. It's only two of us right now, so it'll be hard to track. But we have worked with partners who are able to get like grants and funding, and be able to shuffle that to nonprofits who need it and get kids in. But yeah, that's always been a part of it, man. Like a big part of it. Like how can because with me, it's when I say community, man, it's not just I'm not sitting here just to say like, man, like just the underserved. Like, nah, like I want kids who, are in Lakewood too to have a space because they don't either. Like, yeah, they're not, they have resources or whatnot, but they deserve a space as well. But for me, I think it's even more eye opening and powerful if how can I mix this and blend both of these communities together?
Yeah.
Where now, it's not only bridging the gap of education, but I think the bigger portion of it, which we miss out on, is the compassion. That's the thing. Like people aren't. We're so like.
Go ahead, coach.
Yeah, we like the lack of empathy. The like, we're not getting into politics. We're not getting into all of that. But like, just in everyday life, it's like everyone's out for their self, and if we can start with the youth of like, how can I blend a kid, who maybe goes to a CMSD school or lives on Harvard or Garden Valley, where their houses just blew up, right? Like literally their whole apartment complex just blew up. Blend them with the kid who lives in Lakewood and, maybe lives on a lake and sees the, lake, you know what I mean? And you'll be surprised, like at that age, the amazing thing about it is those kids don't really care. Like they're not asking questions about like, well, whoa, or even looking like, hold on, like what is he doing here? They just want to play because they both enjoy the same thing. So, yeah, I think again, long-winded. I can talk, man, but that's the real thing, man. It's just like I want to serve everybody. In primary like the youth. I want the youth to be able to come together. I grew up in a predominantly black area, and I went to private school in a predominantly white high school, and I got friends that are black and do different things. I got friends that are white that do different things, but that doesn't make one more or less. Like I look at them as equal, and I feel like they should be able to come together. You know what I mean? And hang out, whether it's for 2 hours or 3 hours. Like it shouldn't be a hard concept to pick up on, but the more compassionate we can be to one another and understanding, the better. So yeah, just being able to blend that, figuring out a way to get those kids in and get grants and funding, and partnering with strategic partners while still providing that space for kids that are local.
Amazing, bro. Ooh, yeah. So amazing, bro. Oh, you got me turned up. Like, come on.
Appreciate it, man.
And I'm gonna say this, and some will say it's a hot take. I know you said we're going to get political. Being kind and compassionate is not political.
Not at all.
It's not.
It's just. Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
but,
it's that. It's just that. Like having a heart, right? Like just. Yes. Hey, what if I was born in this situation?
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. No, I'm with you.
The world would be a better place if. Finish that sentence.
Man, the world would be a better place if there wasn't so many abandoned houses and we can turn them into places for the homeless to be placed. Like, figure that out. Like, I mean, there's so many abandoned houses, man, where I feel like we have leaders and people with money or people that, within itself, like we talk about, the lack of jobs or everything being slashed or cut. Like, let's start getting into these abandoned houses and making them into places where we can, hire some people to be caretakers or givers or some more, I don't know. I don't have the full answer, but I just think like there's no way there's this many individuals that are homeless, but then there's so many vacant houses. Like,
Same, bro.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
bro,
It's
you're on, son. You're
yeah,
on, you're
yeah.
on.
It's crazy, man. I ain't even. I'm not gonna lie, man. I wanted this to come from the heart, man. I didn't even look at the questions, man. I peeked that. I ain't gonna lie. I peeked that on for like a quick 2 minutes last night. But yeah, I'm like, I just gotta come off the head or the heart. But I'm like,
Yeah, bro.
yeah,
Yeah, bro.
yeah,
No, I mean, again, we haven't even got to half of those questions.
man,
We're
man,
bringing an hour in. We didn't, but it's been a
yeah,
beautiful conversation. And that's just what happens at the Good
yeah,
Service Podcast, man.
for
Like,
sure,
it's
for
real, it's
sure.
authentic, it's inspiring, it's wholesome, it's you,
Yeah, it's
man, and
me, man.
it's
Yeah.
Ethlete Lab Academy. So,
All right, there we go. We 1 for 10,
yeah,
baby. I knew we was
yeah.
gonna get there. I knew we was gonna get.
Not
I'm
bringing out the
messing with you,
analytics on me. That's crazy.
man. I'm messing
That's
with you,
crazy,
man.
bro.
I'm messing with you, man.
Okay, man. All right. So you dabbled on it a little bit earlier. One of your mentors created Siri, Adam.
Yeah, yeah,
I saw a few conversations that y'all have had, and like high level, like how did y'all even? That's just crazy. Like I
I'm
was
trying to
watching that
say.
last conversation y'all had around AI.
Yeah,
Um, but I would love to just like, how did you meet
it's
him? And then,
this is why I say, man, God is like at that point in time, I wasn't even Christian, man. But like when they say, you know, God is in your presence and you don't even know, and God's with you the whole time, and I mean, it was crazy because this was during the Nigerian national run where he wanted to be a part of a practice. So he came. Mike Brown allowed him to be on the court, and one of my many jobs, was dealing with anyone that wanted a ticket or wanted to see practice. And I mean, that could stem from, coaches' friends to GMs to presidents of NBA teams to, a guy who created Siri, right? So um, it's just funny how things happen. Like, I'm big on, earlier on in my life, I was afraid to ask for things, right? Like, I was super hesitant. I always felt like, and I still have some of this where I feel like I'm bothering people.
yeah, bro, I know. Same.
Yeah, he was there, and I was like having conversation with him because I was his point of contact, where to enter at, where to get changed, what size he needed for his shorts and his shirt. So, and this is all through WhatsApp. So we're chatting, we're talking, and I'm like, man, it's no way, the guy who created Sirius, like I have access to him, and I'm gonna just look at this as like and sum it up to, hey, I met the guy from Siri. Like, nah, it's more there. So this is before I even thought about like Ethlete Lab Academy. I just reached out to him, was like, yo, like, I know you in San Francisco or you in Oakland, you're a huge Warriors fan. Like, I actually coached the gaming squad. I was a part of the Warriors. Would love to like grab lunch one day or talk. He was like, what? Like, yeah, like so. And he started asking questions like interested, like, so what do you do for the Warriors? Like, are you, and he didn't know about 2K. He thought I was in a different game title. And I'm like, no, I'm not in that game title. He's like, oh, okay, cool. So, I don't know what happened. Like we would talk here and there, and I would just tap in with him. But he ended up coming out to Cleveland, and I'm like, man, I think he might have reached out. And I'm like, yo, like, let's go to lunch. So I found a lunch spot, and we talking, and like we're talking about business. He's talking about exit and IPO. Like he's talking like high level where
No,
I'm going
I'm
back home.
knowing. Trust me.
Yeah, and when you're in that space, you don't want to like ask a dumb question, but like he's the type of guy where it's so easy to converse with him because there's no dumb question. And he's really like another guy who, if you're an entrepreneur, he's like your biggest cheerleader. Like he doesn't care. Like he's like, you'll figure it out. So, you know, he came and I was like, you know what? I think something that'll leave a lasting effect, which I highly recommend people do is I'm like, man, I got the tab. This is on me. And he was like, okay, cool. So he didn't say like, no, I got it. He didn't fight it. He was like, all right, cool. So I'm like, yeah, it's on me, da. So he ended up going to the Browns game later with CJ McCollum, doing that. So we kept talking, like, and I tap in. And then when I told him about the idea, he's like, all right, like, let's go. And now it's to the point, man, I can reach out to Adam. This is how crazy this is, man. And it's not to toot my own horn. It's to say like there's really good people out there. that make time for like, little people like us. Um, it's to the point where me and Adam, where I can reach out to Adam right now confidently and be like, Adam, like, when's the next time like you're good to talk? I will have a conversation with him in the next 7 days. Like, it won't go past a week. Like, the last time I talked to him, that conversation you saw, I think I reached out to him on a Monday. He was like, let's set it up for Wednesday. This is a guy who, has multiple projects. He's always working on the new biggest thing. AI, obviously, he was AI before AI, all of these. And he's still making time for, me. And that's just me. You know what I mean? Like, I look at his LinkedIn. If you tap in with his LinkedIn, man, I got to get lunch with Adam, or Adam this, Adam that. Like, he makes time for people. And I am so appreciative of that. Not even just for myself, but just to know, like, this guy really cares. Like, and I mean, for real, like, and I'm just grateful that, I was in that space to be able to connect with him. Him take me up on it. Adam allowing me to, make mistakes and ask stupid questions, because he's like, there's no stupid questions. Like, you have to go through this process. Like, I still go through it. Like, he's amazing, man.
That's
he's
so
a blessing.
dope.
Yeah, he's a blessing, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and listen, y'all. I have to find a way to link it or follow Mike in his personal Instagram, because they had a great conversation around AI, and just like the man created Siri. We like iPhone. He created Siri. Yo, like,
yeah.
what?
He created a lot of good things, man. And yeah.
Taco Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
Not just any tacos. I saw, is it walking taco as well as an option as well?
Yeah, man. So we trying to get that going. So again, all about building community, man. So we do and that's kind of what I hit on, where I'm like, I'm a jack of all trades, man. But Tech and Taco. So every Tuesday from 3 to 8, $25. So how our pricing works for drop-ins is $10. So after tax, it gets you right around $11, right? So figure if you play for 5 hours, that's going to run you about $55 from 3 to 8. But every Tuesday, for $25, you can game unlimited 3 to 8, and you get walking tacos. We've partnered with a local bar, again, great people, at Corky's. And how that came about, we actually teach his son coding and game design. So his son's enrolled in our classes, and he was like, yo, like, how can we get the word out? How can we? And I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm thinking about, like, doing something with, like, Taco Tuesday, this and that. He's like, there it is. So it's cool, man. Every Tuesday they provided me with a new fridge. They provided me, they provided me with like a steamer. They bring the meat already cooked. They provide us with black beans, like nacho cheese, lettuce, chives, tomatoes, their special sauces, different sauce that they provide us with, Dorito chips. Yeah, that sour cream, guac. It's literally like a walking taco bar, and then like you can get Doritos. The Doritos are actually back there, but he's like, yo, like, every Tuesday I got you, and he's like, again, it's a blessing, like, it's a light lift for me. So just those are the type of like partnerships that just keep me going, because it's like, as people bond over what, like, hobbies, music, and food. So being able to again provide this space where kids can game a little bit, take a break, sit in the lounge or the cafe area, watch TV while they eat walking tacos for free with their friends. Moving forward is something that I'm so that's just one. That's one partnership. Obviously we're looking for more partners, strategic partners, from an education standpoint. And then anything else, what I mean? If people have ideas, we're always open to them. We just want to find a way to keep this thing rolling and, inspire the youth.
Yeah, bro. It's that's so major. All right, build your walking taco.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I do the most. So, you got to start off, man. You got to open the bag and crunch the chips up, man. You got to open the bag. You got to crunch those chips up, man. Then for me, I do. They have like this spicy mayo. I put the spicy mayo in there. I'll put the guac in there. I'll put the sour cream in there. I'll put the sauce. I put all the sauces in there. I put I'll pass on the tomatoes. Sometimes I'll put them in there, but I even put the nacho cheese on top. I got like 6 sauces going on. Then black beans every now and then. I'll do like the lettuce and the chives. But
Yeah.
yeah. Mine's a little heavy, you know. And I'll go for two
No,
or
what the
three.
fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
You
go for
had to
two or
get the
three.
last bowl.
Oh yeah, facts. So, but yeah, it's a fun time, man. Like I said, it's I'm just happy that I'm able to like do something like that for the kids, where, you know, they can come in, not think too much about it. You know what I mean, with snacks, and now it's just like every Tuesday, you know, we're in here, we're doing this. So yeah, yeah,
That's fire, man. That's fire. Bro, I'm having so much fun. I got one more question for you. One more question. Oh, also a comment. People bond over serving as well.
that's
Usually
don't
starts-
man, community. Don't even get me started on that, man. So
we don't got the
I
time
think.
for it.
Right, that's a whole nother conversation, man. Because I already felt like, which is not a bad thing. I've been blending a lot of, you know, business and community, but you know they coincide. But as far as serving goes, I'm telling you, so I'll I'll call myself kind of a newborn Christian. I was baptized last year, quiet as kept, on St. Patty's Day. I was baptized on St. Patty's Day. Yeah,
Amazing,
so
bro.
yeah, yeah, appreciate you. So, but
Born again. Oh, bro,
yeah,
you gotta
yeah.
get me turned up.
Yeah. It's funny. Yeah, on St. Patty's Day. Yep. So, but to your point, I didn't realize, man. Like, you know, I grew up in a Christian family, like Baptist, but like again, when I talk about faith, I never decided to go to church. I had to. I was with my family, right? You know, with my friends. In order to spend it at my friend's house, I had to go to church with them on Sunday. This was like the first time in my life where, like, and it's crazy, bro. The year I won the NBA championship, that's when I first started going to church. Like, it all happened that way. Yeah, bro, I'm serious, man. I was going to church out in DC, I was actually taking the train. My partner was like, "Man, stop taking Uber. They're expensive. Like, make a whole experience out of it. Take the train." So because I was using an excuse. I'm like, "Man, it's too expensive." Like, she like, "Man, I'm not trying to hear that. The train is $1.15, man, at max." So I started doing that. But to your point, man, I'm like, you don't understand like that prayer you spoke over me, man, like, or you prayed over me before, like, you know, I had somebody else come in, drop a scripture on me, man, and then like I took a walk with one of my Christian brothers in today's time where you don't know what people going through, man. You have no idea. All you
Yeah.
see is, to your point, is the highlights. Oh, you talking to Adam Shire, or he won this championship, and you don't have no idea what that prayer did for me. You know what I mean? So, um, people don't, and I mean, I feel like I'm called in that space too. Let's just say that. Like, I'm definitely called to, you know, share my testimony about what got me, you know, to becoming a Christian, to finally, you know, submitting and being like, all right, you got me.
Yeah.
I can't. Hey, look, man. Hey,
You got
you
me
got me. I
so
can,
crazy.
man. You got me. Like, I can't. Hey, I try every way to neglect that. Like, I'm gonna do this on my own. Like this church thing, man, you got me. You know
You
what I
got
mean?
me.
Like, you got me, man. Like, I'm at my last. You know how I go. I'm at my
Bro, I
last, man. I
trust
need.
trust.
Yeah. So
Man. We
yeah,
have
but
similar walks in that, man. Like
yeah,
just growing up Baptist as well, Christian as well. I've always known God. I mean,
yeah,
I had a
yeah,
relationship with him, but it wasn't
yeah,
until, you're an adult and you go through some things and you realize, because as a kid, it's just like, oh,
yeah,
be compassionate, be loving.
yeah,
Others how you want to be treated.
yeah.
That's how I live my life.
God is great. God is good. Let us thank you for our food. Amen.
Bro, right? Like, okay, cool. We good. But like you get to a point where you're like, man, like this is a choice. And then you understand at a deeper level. Again, bro, we can get into that another time. I,
Man,
I would love
for
to, but
sure.
thank you for sharing in this moment. That means a lot. But yeah, bro. Woo! Amazing. My last question for you. What's your favorite thing about being a father?
Oh, I mean, I got a list of them, man. Um, I mean, it's cliche, bro. I just love seeing my daughter smile, man. Like, she is the most beautifulest soul. Like, she got such a beautiful soul, man. And I think the thing about her that, like, I envy, um, is that when I was a kid, I had fake confidence. You know what I mean? Like, I knew I was good at things, but like I still had that self doubt. And she got a little bit of that in her, but once she get around, like, give her 15, 30 minutes around somebody, man. Like, she got a lot of confidence. So, like, instilling that in her and seeing her, like, be able to, um, make strides, whether that's in reading or whether that's dancing or whether that's just being able to communicate or make new friends or be confident to ask for a friend's number. Seeing those many milestones that, I missed out on, I mentioned, like, 3 years, like, I tap in now and then, but like being here full time now and being able to see the process and being able to have those talks, like, um, I'll share this, man, because I'm an open book. Like, it was just me and her this past week, and it was a hard week. Trying to run a business, trying to, be a dad, give her the time. She's not baptized, but she's been going to church for all of a year, and she doesn't really like praying. She will, but it's almost like one of those things. She's like, do I have to? I don't want to. And in those times where it's just me and her, it's like, it's a feeling. And I've never shared this with anybody, honestly, bro. So it's crazy that I'm sharing this with you. It's a feeling that you can't describe because, like, I usually make her sleep in her bed. So we sleep in the bed. I'm like, all right, you pray. She's like, all right, cool. Let's get straight to it, bro. She like, God, thank you for this beautiful day. God, thank you
Yeah,
for placing your
yeah,
hand. She like, and I'm like, yo, like, where, I open my eyes. I'm like, who? Holy Spirit, is that you? Like, what do you got
Oh
in this
yeah,
for?
yeah. Like, where'd you get this from? Where'd you get this box
So,
from?
but she going and she like, all right, and then she ended with, and all right, God, and like let my dad finish, and we finish, pray, and then like it's that 5 to 10 minute intermission before bed, like we sleep where we talk, and it's such a like it's weird to say this, but it's almost like she kind of my safe space. You know what I mean? Where like I check in with her and I'm like, yo, like, how are you? Like, you know what I mean? Like for real though, like how you feeling, sis? Like, and we had a talk, like, I'm like, sis, you sure you good? And like she like, Daddy, your breast stink. Like we joke, but it's like you get what I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying. To be able to see her smile, to be able to see her formulate her thoughts, be able to speak up, me be able to put my foot down and get more comfortable with telling her, like, yo, like, I'm not trying to break you, but like, gotta push you, baby girl. Like, being able to be able to raise like a beautiful queen who can listen to Taylor Swift, Beyonce, country. Frank Forrest is her favorite
Yeah,
Christian
man.
artist right now.
Me crying.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. It's beautiful, man, to see. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I'm sorry, man. I ain't trying to get you
There's nothing to be
teary eyed.
sorry about, bro.
Yeah, man. But got me about to cry, man. Because like I said, man, it's hard. It's life is hard, bro. But like she don't even know the half of it. And like just her smile, you know what I mean? Just her dancing, just her listening to country. Man, I ain't listening to country. She listen to country. She, we in the car. She want to listen to Frank Forrest country. Today's gonna be a good day. Your way is
Yeah,
better. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's those moments where like you bring everything into perspective, and it's like, how can I, how can I complain? You know what I mean? Like, if the worst thing that I'm going through right now, which I say is privilege, it's like, how can I get more people in my gaming lounge? Like, doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. So, I love being a dad, man. I know that's if I want to be known as anything, Christian, but Soraya's dad, bro. Like, I love it. Yeah, I love it, bro. Like, yeah, yep,
oh, bro, come on, man. It's so
yep,
good. Thank you
yep.
for sharing. Thank you.
No, no problem, Brody. No problem, man. Thank you for
That's so
having
good.
me. Thanks for asking. Most
Of course.
important question of the day.
That's for real. For real.
Yeah.
Um, all right, y'all. This is before we go. It's as it sounds. It's the end of the show. I mean, we could talk hours, hours, hours. Mike's got things to do. He's got Sarai to get to. Just a week to close. Close to with. So let's get to it, y'all. Mike, this is your moment. Shameless plug. Social medias, all the things. I want you to share how everyone that's listening, watching, can support you. Ethlete Lab
Hey,
Academy.
we 2 for 11, baby. 2 for 11.
I
We
thought we
gonna
was
get
3 for 11,
we
but
go.
all right, all right.
We'll
We'll
give
go
you an
back and look.
extra one,
We'll go back
man.
and look. We'll go back and
We'll
look.
give you an extra one, man.
Uh, Again, how can people support you? Whether that's donations. Hey, we know of some strategic partnerships or sponsorships in the Cleveland area. Our networks are vast, man. So please share how people can tap in with you all and support.
Yeah, so all of our socials are pretty much the same, man. It's just Ethlete Lab Academy, so our business name. Um, our website is up and running. Shout out to Rachel and Tyler. Those are kind of like our branding and social media people. Oh, well, not social media, but they're like our website designer. And they help with like the branding on the back end of things. So, our website is, I mean, top notch, beautiful. You can hop on there. I know you said you hopped on in a little bit, but
Look nice.
amazing. Yeah, I
Oh, man, it
appreciate you.
looks so good.
They did a really good job. So, website Ethlete Lab Academy. Obviously on LinkedIn, Michael Newton. Um, but yeah, as far as the strategic partnerships, man, like we are open to just about anyone who's looking to inspire the youth. You know what I mean, or lay their hands on and bless us with, you know, something. And it doesn't have to be money. Like even if it's just, someone who works in the tech space and wants to mentor or come in and, I don't know, host a class or talk to parents about internet safety. I mean, we're super open, man. But strategic partnerships, nonprofits, corporate social responsibility, corporations that have that, that programming, and just anyone. I mean, I'm an open book. Would love to talk, get to know more people in this space, and collaborate and help empower the youth. So
Beautiful, beautiful. And then, last but not least, closing remarks, brother. Whatever's on your
yeah,
mind or on your heart, what do you have for the people?
yeah,
Before I
man.
close
I just want to,
it out?
yeah, I want to start by just saying, man, thank you for tuning in. The Good Service Podcast is amazing. I'm grateful that you allowed me on. And for the viewers, whatever you're going through right now, just know like he's with you. You know what I mean? And you just got to keep moving, taking that step forward. But then it's also cool to rest, sit. You know what I mean? In solitude. And but we're all in this together. And I just wish the best for everybody, man. Hopefully, we can become more compassionate, more loving, and we can inspire the youth. That's all I'm about, man. Let's start pouring into our kids and turning this thing back around to where it needs to be.
Amazing. Y'all heard the man. Y'all heard the man. Bro, bar, just
Come
gym
on,
after
man.
gym, bar for bar, just
man,
laying it down, coach. Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike.
man,
Ah,
appreciate it.
so good, man, and so grateful to have you on. Just to know you, to see your journey, to continue to learn your journey, and to be this again close to greatness, right? Keep going, bro. Like you said, we're in this together. I say this all the time, and to my brothers in study, together we rise. Like, it's just the truth. Mike didn't get 6 rings by himself. Obi didn't get 5 by himself. LeBron didn't get his by himself. Like it's a team thing, and just building off each other and being there to support each other, however that looks. Whenever our backs are against the wall, or even we're at the top of our mountains, right? So thank you for that beautiful closing remark. You all know who I am. For those watching for your first time, I mean, you got to come back. It's only right you come
Got
back,
to,
right? Like it's the Good Service
got to.
Podcast.
Y'all better,
So
y'all
thank
better
you.
tap in,
Really
man.
tap in, subscribe, like, reshare, refer all the things. But seriously, thank you for being here. We hope you learned something. We hope you loved something. We hope you laughed. Um, it's again, you are what keep us going. So come back, refer a friend, refer an organization, a nonprofit. Uh, those that continue to show up for us, thank you. You know who you are. You know where you're at in the world. And that's our sole purpose, to bring good news, wholesome news, inspiring news that's happening all across the world. So we can't do this without you. I love you to the bottom, top, left, and right side of my heart, all 4 chambers. Until the next episode, we'll talk soon.
Peace.